Okay, this is take three. I've had, I'm trying to figure out this technology and it's kicking my butt. And one more time before you go, I'm gonna get it from you now live. Can come back, come back, come back. Who's gonna win the Super Bowl? Anyway, I have had a ghost guest, I guess, and including his prediction on who's going to win the Super Bowl. And he is an avid Dallas Cowboy fan, so he is predicting that the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl playing. He's predicting against the New England Patriots. And so, let me not sound frustrated or get frustrated because I'm not figuring out this technology thing. But this is just another try, and I'm learning as I go for sure, for sure. And I wanted to keep it going, and I will figure it out. I'm, starting up a blog talk, and I've decided to call it "Coloring the Upside of Fear Purple." And I want to consistently do this and do what I feel like is my part and purpose. I don't have a platform or guest today. Hopefully in the future I will have guests. I do have a couple of things that I wanted to put out there. I was trying to gauge my time and how loud I should talk and what my surroundings should look like and just share what it is I intend to do. One of those things that I intend to do is share music. And what I'm listening to right now is Soul Fruit. Soul Fruit is a group out of Houston, and I want to introduce independent artists that most people may not have ever heard of, or so-called underground maybe, and be introduced to some artists that I've never heard of. We have our favorites, we have our old school favorites, and those classic favorites that we have in hip hop and R&B and jazz or whatever music genres that we like to listen to, contemporary gospel, whatever it is that we like to listen to, traditional gospel. But I think that it's real cool to be able to share new things and to open our minds up to what's out there and be open to try something that we wouldn't necessarily be open to try before. Um, you know, like I said, this is just a trial run, and I had picked out a passage from slavery from Booker T. Washington that I wanted to share, and I'm learning to have patience with myself. Like I said, this is like my third my third time doing this, and that's really not a lot of times, but I'm enjoying it and I'm learning, and so I wanted to share that. I don't know if you can even hear that music or not. But anyway, what I had chosen to share is, like I said, from Up from Slavery, Booker T. Washington. When persons ask me in these days how, in the midst of what sometimes seem hopelessly discouraging conditions, I can have such faith in the future of my race in this country, I remind them of the wilderness through which and out of which a good providence has already led us. And I I like that little portion of Up from Slavery with what if you've read it before, then if you're a fan of literature period, then I dig the way he writes, and I appreciate the perspective and the wisdom that he imparts for his readers and for us. I think that in this particular piece and Up from Slavery, my perspective at least, it really shows a lot of the signs of the times and when he wrote it, which was several, of course, a long time ago, and in comparison to where we are now. And that I remember feeling like I felt a lot of naivete in his. It seemed to me that he felt like that, from whence he had come, that we as black people or people of color have come a long way and that we have arrived at that time. And, I'm sure that he was aware that we have a long way to go in progress, that progress is never ending. But it's just kind of, looking at how things are now. I wonder what our leaders or our ancestors, especially in the civil rights and human rights movements, how they would think or feel about all the stuff that's going on today. And I recently saw the movie The Purge, and if you go see that movie, I was I was surprised by. I thought it was going to be something about just killing people, which actually it was. I took my 11-year-old girl, which I was apprehensive of taking her, but I took her and with some of her little girlfriends, and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. It had a very interesting storyline, and it's really interesting to think about, how realistic something like the purge can be in today's society, especially with what's going on in the world today with just a lot of gun violence right now. So if you get a chance, go check that flick out. I'm trying to get myself up on pop culture. So that's one of the recent movies that I've seen, and I'm sharing that with you. So what is it? I've spoken on Soul Fruit. I've spoken on The Purge. Gave you a little book of tea, and I want to sometime in the near future talk about um, the black family. I'm still in the midst of reading the Monahan report about the case of the Negro in America, written in 1965. I'm in the process of reading that, and just a lot of us are co-parenting, child support, visitation, all that stuff, which is like so commonplace, but really has some really, really deep rooted stuff in there. So I'm not going to keep you all this time. I just wanted to get my feet wet, and this is something. So I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to keep going. And I appreciate anyone who's taking the time to watch these videos. So next time you see me, hopefully it'll be a little bit more sophisticated, and we'll see some progression along the way. So thanks and peace out.